Today we're going to talk about a female motorcycle rider, one that you probably have not heard of. She was not the most famous girl of all Speedway, but she raced the 500s with the big boys. Her name is Kim Stevens, number 136, and she was from Auckland, New Zealand, and her number was 11. 11, that's Bobby Schwartz and Mike Bass' number. But she was 136 here in the US. Do you remember Kim Stevens? Girls, when they step up to the 500cc, it becomes different because the guys are bigger and stronger, but this girl was big and she was strong and she didn't let the guys bully her around like some of the smaller girls in the 500s. She raced Speedway from 2001 to 2009, and I don't know if this is true, but I asked her one time, where do you stay? And she pointed towards her van and she says, I sleep in my van. And I was like, what a dedicated person. She comes here from New Zealand probably during the race season and goes home after the season, and she stays in her van. She races all the tracks and she really was a trooper. I'm like, I like that girl. Kim graduated from Auckland University in Auckland, New Zealand. She races cars, I guess like the midget cars or the go-karts. She is a car racer now. She was kind of a big gal, so it was kind of hard to muscle her around since she was bigger than most of the small riders. I probably was the same size or probably bigger, so it was hard for me. I caught her one time letting air out of my front tire. I said, Kim, you're not supposed to do that one. I was very mad at her. One time I raced Kim, and I think I raced her a few times. Guys don't like to race girls, I think, because they don't want to be beat. I know they're not supposed to talk about that, but every time I race a girl, I'm like, I'm not going to lose that girl. And I don't think I lost to too many girls, but still, Kim was a good racer. She, she tried hard, she worked hard. She was a Division II and III rider. I raced Kim. I think it was like the first race of the night, and I forgot to turn my fuel on, and the race started and I was in first place doing really good, and then the fuel went and my bike died. And just before it died, I'm looking down and I say, oh no, my fuel is off. So I turn the fuel petcock on, and then the bike goes rrr. And then by this time Kim was like almost a half a lap ahead of me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, and there's like 2 laps left. So I just went as fast as I could, and I just like let it loose. Normally I'm a conservative rider before, but this time I just like said, I'm gonna catch her. And I caught her towards the last turn of the last lap, and I passed Kim and I won the race. It was a miracle because I should have lost that race because I had turned the fuel off. And so I had family members there in the race stands, and they all come up to me and I'm like, yeah, I had a good race. I forgot the fuel, and then I end up. My family members got really mad at me, and I said, why are you mad at me? I thought you're gonna be happy I won, because you think that if you win the race, they're gonna be happy. And they said, why didn't you let the girl win? You're so mean. You're a very bad guy. You don't let the girls win. You have no niceness to the girls. And I said, no, I have to win if I go out there. I'm not gonna let the girls beat me or the guys. I mean, every race you want to win. You're not out there to play around. And they got really mad at me, and I was like, mad. Didn't you see I had a good race? And they said, no, you should not do that. Let the girl win. So I always remember that story with Kim. So that's it. Kim Stevens, 136. She was a female rider with the 500s. I I like that when a girl gets on a 500 and races against the boys. It's kind of fun because it's difficult. And Kim did a pretty good job. She was dedicated for like 8 years, 9 years. She'd fly over, spend all this money. She'd not make any money, and she'd just live out of her van. She was a trooper. 136, that's Kim Stevens.